So I just finished eating dinner, and even though most of my calories throughout the year come from eating sweet, juicy fruits predominantly, even in most periods exclusively, there are some times and circumstances where I do include some cooked food in my diet. Like right now, I'm here in Sydney, Australia, and the fruit isn't the best. And I just don't find it enjoyable to eat only bananas, for example, or to include things like pears that are just not the best. So I choose to eat some cooked food. So today I had sweet potatoes, pumpkins, and some other vegetables as well. And I just wanted to sort of mention the fact that people just debate whether or not cooked food is better, raw to four versus raw, and all these things. And I just want to set the record straight that in my experience, both theoretically and experientially, fruit, nothing beats fruit. Like you can eating cooked food never actually works 100% optimally. Your digestion is not as good when you're including cooked food, even if you're eating super clean. Fruit is what we're biologically evolved, designed to eat, and that's what will work the best on all accounts. But of course, as you move away from fruit and go into the cooked food world, there are some things that work better than others. Like, for example, the closer you are to fruit, the better. So, for example, pumpkins, they are a fruit, so they will actually be quite digestible and quite tasty and sweet and enjoyable by themselves without sauce or anything like that. Sweet potatoes as well, very, very delicious on their own. But if you go far away in the other end of the spectrum, still within the vegan world, things like just rice or bread or legumes and all these things, they usually require a lot of salt to make them palatable, and they don't digest as well either, and they have a sort of nutrient imbalance. There are certain anti-nutrients in grains and legumes, and certain things that make them digest not so optimal, and also doesn't satisfy as well. And that's what I wanted to talk about today. In my experience, I'm never actually perfectly satisfied after a meal. Even if I just eat a whole bunch of sweet potato and pumpkin, it's not the same as when I'm just eating mangoes. When I sit down to have a meal of mangoes afterwards, I'm just like, I don't think about food at all. I'm just completely like perfectly satisfied. Whereas every time I eat cooked food, it's kind of like it just doesn't satisfy as well. But I still find it more satisfying than sitting down to a third meal of bananas for the day, or sitting down to a meal of, poor quality unripe oranges or something like that just to stay raw. So I'm okay with the health compromise of eating some cooked food. I don't think it's a huge deal health wise, but it's certainly not optimal. And I guess this video, I just wanted to, tell you that it's okay to we it's a good idea to just broaden our perspective a little bit, and see things, all things considered, and realize that it's not just like it's raw versus cooked, because the poorest of the raw food will, or the least appropriate raw foods, will not be better than the more appropriate cooked foods, if you know what I mean. Eating broccoli for dinner raw is going to be way worse, feel way worse, and fail at supplying your needs more than eating cooked sweet potatoes, for example. So we can't just say raw versus cooked. It's there's a spectrum where we have ideal, and then there's really crap. And if we can stay within the sort of upper range of close to ideal, I think that's pretty good. And I mean, if you want to do all raw, even though you got crap fruit, you can do it for a while. And I've done it for a while as well. But I like to enjoy my food, and if the fruit is not enjoyable, I'd rather just eat some sweet potato, to be honest. That's just the way it is. And I still feel almost as good, but not as good. So if you want the best of the best of the best of the best, you gotta eat sweet, ripe, fresh, raw, tropical fruits. You can eat as much as you want. It'll be perfectly satisfying. It will give you all the nutrients you need. It's just perfect. It's our species-specific ideal diet. So I guess I don't really have a specific point. I'm just kind of rambling a little bit and sort of sharing my experience with eating some cooked food at times. And my conclusion is very simple. It's enjoyable. Not as enjoyable as fruit, but it's still enjoyable. It's pretty good at supplying my needs. Not as good as fruit, but still pretty good. And it's certainly not as bad as some people think. Oh, as soon as you eat cooked food, it's terrible. No. There's a range, and we just need to have everything in perspective and make the best choices that we're willing to make at any given time, depending on circumstances. And that's what I want to promote, I guess, with this video. That you open up your eyes and do your best to find the best fruit and relocate if necessary. But if you can't find the good fruit, and you're sitting there with sort of unripe fruit, or having to go to high fat foods like nuts and seeds and avocados, so that you're relying on them for your calories, I'd say you'd probably be better off including some cooked food. And more than that, you'll enjoy it more. I definitely enjoy eating sweet potatoes a lot, but I don't enjoy eating crappy fruit. So at the end of the day, it's all about enjoyment. If you don't enjoy it, you're not going to do it long term. You'll only do what you enjoy. So do what you enjoy, experiment, and judge by the results, because the theory is there, and it's good, and there's no doubt about what's ideal, and there's no doubt about what feels optimal, which is a all fruit diet. But I don't breathe strictly fresh air. It would be nice if I could, but I breathe city air too, and sometimes I breathe polluted air, but it's just because I'm there, I want to be there. There's other reasons why I'm there, and circumstances just cause me to breathe bad air. I don't have to worry about being a strict fresh airian, if you know what I mean. Same thing here with the raw. Raw is optimal, but depending on circumstances, I'm flexible. And it's a good thing to be flexible. Alright, so thanks for watching. Hope you're having a good day wherever you're at. Stay tuned for more videos. See you around.